This Magic Kingdom restaurant serves up atypical theme park food and a few mysteries. Is it worth your precious time and hard-earned doubloons? Let's find out. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and today we're unraveling the lurking mysteries behind Jungle Navigation Co. LTD Skipper Canteen. If you're a fan of Magic Kingdom's Jungle Cruise ride and the backside of water joke never gets old for you, then you might find a lot to love here. You might also get to learn more about the members of Disney World's Underground Society, the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, who make up a big part of this restaurant's storyline. Step aside for a sec, Cinderella's royal table, and be our guest. Today we're examining Skipper Canteen and finding out if this table service restaurant can stay afloat or if it sinks under the weight of other more popular Magic Kingdom spots. Alright, Skipper Canteen isn't as in your face as other Magic Kingdom restaurants might be. For example, it's not in a literal castle. When you enter Adventureland, you'll find the restaurant just past Sunshine Tree Terrace across from the Swiss Family Treehouse. It's set back just a little bit, claiming an unassuming spot on your path to the rest of the land. Honestly, it's possible you might have walked past it a few times without even knowing it was there. If you're totally new to the lay of the land in Disney World and are now yelling at me from your couch going, "Wait, hold up, I don't even know how to get to Magic Kingdom, let alone Adventureland," well, let me help you out. There are a few different ways to get to Magic Kingdom, either ferry boat, monorail, bus, or even walking, depending on where you're coming from. If you're coming from the Transportation and Ticket Center, aka the main hub that gets folks to and from Magic Kingdom's parking lot, you can either take the ferry or the monorail to the park from there. If you're coming from a Disney World resort or another theme park, a bus will bring you directly to Magic Kingdom. Easy enough, right? And if you're staying at one of the monorail resorts surrounding the Seven Seas Lagoon, lucky you can either take a boat, a monorail, or a walking path to the park, even easier. Once you're inside the park, stroll on down Main Street USA, then veer left toward Adventureland. You'll walk on past the Spring Roll Cart and Sunshine Tree Terrace, but if you see Aloha Isle, you've gone too far. Because Skipper Canteen is located inside Magic Kingdom, you gotta make sure you make both a park pass reservation and a dining reservation for the day you want to eat here. If you're planning on visiting Skipper Canteen after 2 p.m., you can start your day in another park and park hop to Magic Kingdom in the afternoon without having to make a second park reservation to get into MK. Dining reservations are available to book 60 days in advance for Skipper Canteen, plus the length of your stay up to 10 days if you're staying at a Disney World hotel. Now let's expose this secret society. There's a reason Skipper Canteen is part of the Adventureland family. Everything about it, from its atmosphere to its eclectic assortment of menu options and its eclectic assortment of butterflies, screams adventurers only. Like pretty much everything in Disney World, Skipper Canteen has a story. The Jungle Navigation Co. was originally responsible for cargo shipping throughout the river. To help business cruises were offered to interested travelers, and to take things one step further, the Skipper Canteen restaurant opened to welcome guests before or after a trip aboard the world-famous Jungle Cruise. Once you know the backstory, those kitschy decorations, colorful menu items, and jokes, so many jokes, all make sense. You'll see all sorts of details tying into the story of the Jungle Cruise throughout the restaurant, like a portrait of Alberta Falls, the granddaughter of the founder of the Jungle Navigation Company, Dr. Albert Falls. Now, if you're a Jungle Cruise joke veteran, then the name might sound familiar. This old chap's the one who discovered Schweitzer Falls and the infamous backside of water. Yes, it's illegal to say that without emphasis. I hope you learned something valuable today. The restaurant is split up into 3 different dining rooms, each representing an individual part of Jungle Cruise history: the mess hall, the Jungle Room, which serves as the Falls family parlor, and the SEA room. Remember that secret society I mentioned at the start of this video and at the start of this section of this video? The SEA, or the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, is a secret organization you can find references to throughout the Disney parks all over the world. Basically, it's one of the most elaborate Disney stories that ties fictional characters and narratives into several restaurants and rides and attractions in all the Disney parks. So what do they have to do with the Jungle Cruise and Skipper Canteen? As it turns out, one of the dining rooms used to be the SEA's secret meeting location, which can be accessed through a hidden library doorway. And that little tidbit of info is just the tip of the hidden gems iceberg. I won't give too much away because you need to go uncover these things yourself, and also because I don't want this video to become a 3-hour-long spectacular, which we can totally do if you want to. But what I will say is that Disney Imagineers went all out with the theming of this place. And sadly, I think a lot of people who eat here miss a lot of it. Every single inch of Skipper Canteen includes some sort of secret, significant detail, kind of like those interactive art exhibits that keep popping up in different places. You can experience it at surface level, or you can take a deeper dive and figure out why exactly each artifact, each map, and each portrait is significant to the overarching story here. You're going to see bookshelves lined with novels of varying sizes, and if you look closely, you'll notice references from the Jungle Cruise antics typed across the spines. Just read a few, you won't be sorry. Also, that That one book about the boat evacuation procedures, maybe it came in handy for some folks, who knows? You can also find the cruise bulletin boards with notes and items posted for one another. Holiday party notices here, a missing key there, tons to look at just from these boards alone. The decor might be silly and whimsical, but it's also alluring. You'll find parrot-shaped light fixtures, wooden statues, and crystal glasses on display in the Falls family parlor, while the SEA room has charted maps and intricate paintings of discoveries the society has made over the years. But if you're looking for the prettiest, most secluded, and honestly best seat in the house, you'll need to check out the butterfly booth within the SEA room. This booth is surrounded by dozens upon dozens of beautiful framed butterflies. Plus, it's got the official SEA crest across the table, which is pretty cool. Even though Skipper Canteen is broken up into separate dining rooms, they're each large and roomy enough that you'll feel like you got plenty of space to spread out and take in all the hidden details, which is definitely a fun way to pass the time while you're waiting on your food to arrive. Now, if you want to sit in one of the specific dining rooms, I know a lot of people love the SEA room and love the Falls family parlor, you'll definitely want to request a seat in those rooms when you check in to dine here. They can never guarantee you can sit in a particular room, but they can always take the request and hopefully you'll get the opportunity to sit in your chosen dining room. The mess hall, it's loud and huge and basically the analog to the ballroom at Be Our Guest, and some people like it. I find it kind of boring. I like to sit in the other two rooms. Now, just like the Nile River that you cruise down on the Jungle Cruise for Niles and Niles and Niles, the humor inside Skipper Canteen is flowing. You're not reading just any menu, you're reading a fun menu filled with personality and clever jokes. Very few restaurants in Disney World are just a restaurant, since Imagineers constantly work to tie in stories and details and beloved characters into all the dining options throughout the parks, but Skipper Canteen is just one of those spots that really kicks it up a notch. Though it may seem unassuming from the outside, the inside is dedicated to delivering the story of the Jungle Navigation Co., the Falls family, and the SEA. You can order meals like Tastes Like Chicken because it is, or Hearty Har Char Siu Pork, or even Not Piranha Sustainable Fish. The menu here is filled with lots of great options, and there are even more with its secret menu. Not every Disney World restaurant has a secret menu, so be sure to check with your server to see what's available during your visit. When you're not trying to hunt down the hundreds of clever secrets and details tucked throughout the restaurant, then you're going to be eating them. No, please don't eat the books and maps. That's not what I meant. Theme parks can sometimes get a bad rap for having basic, safe, and sometimes fried foods that you can find just about anywhere, like hot dogs, pretzels, hamburgers, and chicken nuggets. Now, those are great. We love those. And sometimes a good and plain chicken tender hits the spot like nothing else will. You know what I'm saying? But Skipper Canteen is one of those theme park restaurants that really stops this stereotype dead in its tracks. We're in a jungle here, so a standard cheeseburger just doesn't make sense thematically speaking. Instead, Skipper Canteen's menu is influenced by Asian, South American, and African foods, all places that the Jungle Cruises cruise. And the flavors do cater a little more toward adventurous palates. I know I pointed out the Tastes Like Chicken because it is, and the Hearty Har Char Siu Pork for their punny names, but these two items are pretty standout options for their quality too. The pork is huge. It has this thick, sweet red barbecue sauce glazed over the top, while the chicken comes battered and deep fried with a chili glaze. While some menu options are more out there are still a handful of foods that might work for those looking for something less adventurous, like the veranda fried rice or the rotating lost and found soup selections, depending on what's available when you visit. If you're visiting with someone on a plant-based diet, they'll have a variety of solid options to choose from too, like the curried vegetable crew stew, Perkins Thai noodles, which of course Adventurers Club fans will remember Ms. Perkins, and the Panakani's Congo lime delight for dessert. The menu is stacked with shareable appetizers and large portioned entrees. Looking at you, Falls family falafel. But if you don't see anything you like here, I'm gonna let you in on a secret. The secret menu, that is. Yes, there is a secret menu at Skipper Canteen, and all of those people who clicked out of this video a couple of sections ago when we mentioned the secret menu, but we didn't tell you what was on it, those people are very sad now because you are here and you are hearing about the secret menu. Some of the items we've tried in the past, like the pau de quejo and the pork satay skewers, have knocked it out of the park. The theme park, that is. Make sure to ask your server about this hush hush menu on your upcoming visit so you'll have access to Skipper Canteen's full list of offerings. There's also a couple drinks on the secret menu as well, so definitely ask about those. Now, speaking of drinks, if you're feeling thirsty, there are some specialty cocktails here like the Skipper Sangria and the Veranda Shandy that you can sip on while waiting for your food. Or if you're more of a beer connoisseur, try the exclusive Kungaloosh Spiced Ale, which is brewed exclusively for Disney World. Again, another throwback to the Adventurers Club. If alcohol isn't your thing, there are other non-alcoholic drinks like the Adventureland Colada and the medley of mint tea, or you can settle for a nice cold glass of river water, which is what your skipper might call it. But it's not river water, just so you know. So what's this meal filled with jokes and hidden secrets gonna cost you? Well, Skipper Canteen is on the pricier side of things. It is a table service restaurant. It's in the premier park and, it's in Disney World overall. However, what you'll pay is comparable to other sit-down restaurants in Magic Kingdom like Tony's Town Square and the Plaza Restaurant. Like I mentioned before, you can definitely share your appetizers if you're looking to stretch your dollar. Same with those entree portions because they're not tiny. You may be paying between $20 and $30 for an entree, but you're getting a lot of food for that price. Kids' entrees are comparable to other restaurants as well, costing around $10. So the biggest mystery, is it worth it? It isn't always worth taking time out of your already busy vacation to sit down for a full meal for an hour or two. So should you make it a priority to eat at Jungle Navigation Co. Skipper Canteen? Well, hop aboard if you're looking for Imagineering theming at its finest. When it comes to theming and atmosphere, true Disney fans are going to seriously appreciate all the effort that Imagineers put into making this place immersive and detailed. Lots of those throwbacks to Adventurers Club, lots of those throwbacks to Jungle Cruise. Even if you've eaten at Skipper Canteen before, it's more than likely you'll discover something new each time you go. Regardless, you don't need to be a Jungle Cruise expert to admire all the unique features in this place or to laugh at your server's dad jokes and puns. You also might like this one if you've got the palate of an adventurer. Quality, of course, is another super important thing when it comes to food. Like I mentioned earlier, the price at Skipper Canteen is pretty similar to what you can expect to pay at Tony's Town Square, which is an Italian restaurant right at the entrance of the park. No offense to Tony's, but the food quality, the atmosphere, the variety of menu items at Skipper Canteen is much more worth the price than the pseudo Olive Garden that doesn't even have unlimited breadsticks. If you're tired of the sometimes seemingly endless array of burgers, fries, and chicken nuggets, the variety of food on the menu here at Skipper Canteen might be a huge draw for you. While it's common to find more adventurous menus in places like Epcot and Animal Kingdom, there's not a plethora of that to be found in Magic Kingdom, meaning Skipper Canteen could be the place to satisfy your craving for Asian and South American and African influenced cuisine, or become your opportunity to venture out and try something new. Now, the reason you might like this spot, you want a lot of food for the price you're paying. If you're starving after your adventure on the Nile, then Skipper Canteen will not hold back on the portions here. Want to add chicken to your Perkins Thai noodles? They'll pile it on high. Want to try the Irrawaddy Irma's hanger steak? Don't fill up on those appetizers. What I'm trying to say is you're not going to leave here with an unsatisfied stomach. In comparison to pricier restaurants with prefix menus and smaller portions, you're definitely going to get the best bang for your buck here. And maybe you need a last-minute reservation because this restaurant is pretty under the radar. Reservations don't fill up quite as quickly here as they do for more popular spots in Magic Kingdom like Be Our Guest or Cinderella's Royal Table. If you find yourself on a challenging search for a table service reservation in the park, this could be a good backup option with more availability for you. And I really don't understand why. I love this place. Okay, so here's some reasons you might not want to go to Skipper Canteen, why it might not be worth it for you. Well, the clock is ticking. Time's a-wastin'. Skipper Canteen takes a while to experience. You've got your drinks, your apps, your entrees, your dessert. It's a full endeavor. So if you've only got a limited time in Magic Kingdom, you may be better off choosing a quick service for lunch and dinner instead, such as Columbia Harbor House and Liberty Square. Don't forget the Hush Puppies or Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe in Tomorrowland. Now, maybe you or others in your party are very picky eaters. If your travel party has lots of folks and youngins who'd rather not step out of their Flavortown comfort zones, then there are several other table service restaurants you might like better, like Liberty Tree Tavern, which serves up heaps of comfort foods, or the Plaza Restaurant, which does the same thing, but also has a couple of different options like the Monte Cristo sandwich. Maybe you don't want to pay that much for food. Though there are definitely pricier restaurants on Disney World property, having to spend $20 to $30 for food is still quite the investment you'll have to budget for. Even if the portions are plentiful, dropping that kind of dough for lunch or dinner, not being sure whether you're going to enjoy these rather adventurous options is kind of risky business for some. If you're traveling with little kids on their first ever Disney trip, and maybe they're looking for familiar Disney faces or stories, they probably won't appreciate the unfamiliar backstory of how Skipper Canteen came to be, and the kitschy jungle-themed atmosphere might not be as fun for them. For a true to Disney restaurant experience, Cinderella's Royal Table, Be Our Guest Restaurant, maybe even Crystal Palace will never make you or your kids question whether you're still in the Magic Kingdom or dropped somewhere in the middle of a jungle. Overall, Jungle Navigation Co. Limited Skipper Canteen is a restaurant with adventurous food, funny cast members, and an atmosphere with mystery and storytelling in every single detail. If you want to sign up for something way more unique than you're used to getting at a Magic Kingdom restaurant or at a typical theme park restaurant in general, Skipper Canteen is going to treat you right. But if new and adventurous eats aren't the vibe you're looking for, it's best to skip the dad jokes and leave this hidden restaurant uncharted on your map. Thanks for listening, everybody, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.